As some of you know, a month ago and a half, both of my elbows got really bad, and basically I got the tennis elbow on both of my elbows. So I couldn't really do anything, sports especially. The idea of having the health that is not granted, even though we always forget about it. I just feel that sometimes the life tells you to slow down, and essentially and usually it's by striking you fast and suddenly. So you would realize that, hey, I know you are a workaholic, but perhaps you should slow down a little bit. Yeah. Since my elbows started, I thought that that's something that I would sort of, get through very fast. But somehow my left arm is okay because I got that huge injection there and I don't want that anymore. And the other right hand is still having a problem, and it still keeps me off from the badminton battlefield. I now need to sort of do a little rehab sort of thingy, and just exactly told me, the life, to stop doing certain things, to realize, hey, now it's time and I'm warning you, but if you continue, it will get bad. And guess what, guys? I actually continued, and so I was working sleepless nights and days actually on the videos for this channel. And then a week ago my left eye started it's not blinking, but it's just a little, there's this little pulsing. So it's just pulse, I don't know, that's a strange word, but it's just gets kind of strained here a little for a few seconds and just goes off. And when I googled what the cause might be, it was just stress and not enough sleep, too much caffeine. I'm like, Jesus Christ, why it's always so accurate? Whenever you google any symptoms that you have, you just suddenly get the first disease that they describe after the results. So after you read the first result on Google, perhaps we should use ChatGPT more, which hopefully would be more kind. Again, I had to think about how to divide my time so I would be more efficient, and I would be more sort of kind to my body. And believe me or not, the left eye is still kind of ticking, and it's very annoying, and you actually get scared, right? My plan now is to really slow down a little bit. I'm not sure if it's gonna mean less content, but probably I will at least have sort of 2 days of not really working on a computer, because I'm not 20 anymore, which is sad. But anyway, so if you are 20 or 30 and less, please work hardcore, okay? And when you get after 30, just get used to working slower and be more mindful about your health. I think that's something that I would kind of pass to myself back when I was a little younger, to really cherish the health. I know it sounds funny. Okay, so there was this conversation that I had with a receptionist during on the site of my brother's wedding, right, in the hotel. And then he was a really funny guy whom I talk more than with the guests, and I don't know, just always get these small talks that I love. And then late in the night, I was just complaining about how my body's fucked up, right? Because all the elbows and the eyes and stuff. And then he was like, how old are you? I'm like, 31. I said 31, and I totally feel that it's going really, really like steep down, right? And then he replied with, and you know how old I am? 46. And believe me, 31 was still really good. And that made us both laugh because essentially, with his perspective, 31 is like really, really, really amazing. And in my perspective, 20 is the amazing. So, you know how this goes, right? But anyways, just cherish your health and listen to your body. I'm telling this obviously to myself, but perhaps you are also a workaholic, or you tend to work over hours and you don't spend enough time with... Okay, so it had two reasons. Both, the first was my body, and then of course, as my daughter was born half a year ago, I also realized that if I would spend so much time working on this project here on YouTube, I wouldn't also have the quality time with her. And as she grows really, really fast by every single day, I don't lie, you know how it is. The kids, they just, yeah. So I also realized that that's something that is probably even more important, right? To work on your career as opposed to having a good quality time with your family and your friends. And then there's this perspective that Gary Vee very often says. All people, I mean 80 plus, they usually regret of not doing something or not spending time with someone. And so I think that as a workaholic, I need to be very thoughtful about this, about the time that I should give to my family. I really feel that this is also something that I'd like to see in the future. You know, the 46 myself would be like, oh, that little guy, he didn't know anything about life, and he thought that he was already going steep. Yeah, it's really great to reflect on life. And so today's message, my friends, it's really important to prioritize. My schedule now is inspired by the Chris Do. I love Chris Do. Hopefully one day I will be on his podcast as well. Chris Do had this Instagram post with how he divides his time to be more efficient, and it's a Instagram carousel, so you just go left, you swipe left. On Mondays he reads, on Tuesdays on Mondays he writes, on Tuesdays he reads, on Wednesday he does meetings, on Thursday and Friday he makes content, and on the weekend on Saturday he spends time with his family, and on Sunday he does self-care, right? And that schedule seems to me pretty balanced, right? Because I would love to work 25 hours a day. I thought, okay, this is cool. It seems that it's exactly something that I need now. So on Mondays, I do work on computer and admin. And on Tuesdays, I do editing. On Wednesdays, I do edit as well. On Thursdays and Fridays, I do content creation, meaning recording videos. And as Chris does on the weekend, I really want to dedicate those 2 days for the family and self-care. So on those days, I will actually not work, which right now seems pretty crazy to me. It's really hard to imagine, by the way. But perhaps if I know this, if I take this in account, perhaps I will be more efficient with my time in a week. So I would not tend to have the feeling to want to work on the weekend. And so before having this schedule, I was always feeling guilty of not working on Sundays or Saturdays. I was always feeling so guilty whenever I was doing something else than working on my YouTube channel, because it's my dream. It's something that I just want to do every day and every second. Yes, so right, sometimes things and so many informations and sort of advice come to you, but when you are not ready to receive them, you won't be following it at all. Right now, you might not follow any of this, but as I said, health, good quality time with your family members, with the ones that you love, and then on the third place would be the work. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next one.